Welcome to the Wellbeing Room. Today, my guest is Janie Larmour. Janie is a yoga teacher, therapist, and creator of Zen Ki Yoga. With a 30-year career in health and wellness, Janie not only teaches yoga, but has trained hundreds of yoga teachers through her in-person and distance education courses. Janie has taught yoga at workshops, conferences, and festivals across Australia, in the US, and the UK. Janie is also the founder of Yoga Day Sydney, which began in 2024. The mission of Yoga Day is to provide a unique and comprehensive platform where individuals can experience a diverse range of yoga, meditation, and wellness practices all in one place in a single day. I'm delighted to have Janie joining us in the Wellbeing Room today. Welcome, Janie.
Hi, how are you?
Yeah, I'm great. Thank you. Thanks for joining us. My dog is just running outside to bark at a bird. Sorry about that.
No worries.
Anyway, thanks for joining us. It's lovely to have you. We've known each other for a long time, and I'm really grateful for this connection that we have. But I'm here today, and you're here today. We're talking about all things yoga, of course. And I just would love to start off with you sharing a bit about how you got into yoga in the first place, because it was quite a long time ago, and you've had this amazing career in this field. And I'd love you to share a bit about that with us.
Yeah, so I didn't have sort of like the wow, sort of I've discovered yoga kind of thing. And that's why I became a yoga teacher. I was a fitness trainer first, and I
Mm.
was a fitness trainer because I didn't want to be a waitress because I was studying acting. So it was like all this stuff. And then I was living in New York and I was on my way home and I just was looking for something else apart from, weights and boxing and running with people. And I did a yoga class with a friend on my second last day. A yoga teacher came to their house and we did the yoga class and we paid the yoga teacher. I was like, oh, that's what I'll do. So I came home and I opened up the paper and there was this yoga down the road and all the times suited me. And had no idea what the Japanese yoga was. I had no idea what I was doing. And I just rocked up and learned it and off we went. And then it just took over everything. The acting fell by the wayside. The fitness stuff, I sort of, was sort of phasing out, trying to get more into the yoga. And so, yeah, and then I just found a space in Darlinghurst that was affordable and, opened up a studio and it just kept flowing from there, basically. So it wasn't sort of an amazing sort of journey that I had to get to yoga. However, having said that, I did suffer constant back pain and from a diving accident. I used to be a springboard diver.
Mm.
And so I had a few little accidents and had done some damage to my back. So I did actually fix my back from doing the yoga. And I had, when I was fitness training, about every 3 months or so, my whole back would just seize and I would have to do
Mm.
acupuncture, massage, specific physio and osteotherapy and all that kind of stuff. And it would, last for about 3 weeks where I couldn't lay down, stand up, walk, anything without having this intense pain. So, and all of a sudden that just disappeared and I didn't really notice. I was sort of like, oh, that's right. I haven't had that back pain thing for quite some time. And so it did end up having a positive effect on my life. So,
That's quite profound, actually. Yeah, because back pain can be so
terrible.
debilitating.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. So, what do you think it was about that? I mean, because I teach this yoga as well, and I've practiced it myself. But what do you think it was about that style of yoga that really had that effect on you?
It is about the lengthening and the strengthening that we do with, when we do the bladder meridian work. So that's, the winter stuff's always about lengthening and strengthening.
Mm.
So definitely building the structure around the spine, um, stretching, constantly stretching, getting the energy and blood flow through the pelvis, which therefore has an effect on the lower back, just everything. I think also, as we know, a lot of back pain comes from a malfunctioning digestive system.
Mm.
So, and our yoga also works on all the organs in the body. So therefore the digestion would have, sorted itself out. And I think it was a culmination of all of those things.
Yeah, yeah. And you teach a lot now. You teach a lot of stuff around the psoas muscle and the vagus nerve. Do you want to just share a bit about that and why that's so helpful to understand it and have a practice around?
Yeah, so the vagus nerve, the psoas muscle, we'll start with.
Mm.
The psoas muscle is my favorite love. It is a muscle that starts off, grabs onto all of your lumbar spine, comes through the front of your pelvis and grabs onto your thigh bone. So it's a hip flexor. And when it's tight, it causes back problems. It can have a massive effect on fertility. It can have an effect on period pain because it affects the blood flow through the pelvis. It sits right where it originates, right where the kidneys sit in your back. So on top of the kidneys sit your adrenal glands. Every time we have a stress response, so either adrenaline or cortisol is released into the body, the psoas tightens, and it's supposed to, because it's a hip flexor, so it helps us run away from danger. So if we're in that fight flight mode all the time, it's constantly tensing and tightening up. And so I just found I took the moves that we did from yoga, the stomach meridian stuff, which stretches the psoas, and then I just added the stuff from exercise science, from the fitness training that I had learned, to release stuff. And also it's, you can't have the yin without the yang. So, we yangize. If something wants to be tight, we make it tight and let's go. Because extreme yang has to turn into yin. Extreme yin turns into yang. So just used all those principles, put it together, and I've taught it now all over the world. I've taught it I haven't actually counted how many cities, but lots of them in America, more than 15. And then I do every year in London and all over Australia. And I've had people, come up bawling their eyes out that their hip pain has disappeared in the 45-minute class, or their knee pain is gone. I remember my partner at the time was at one of the events at Houston, and he was standing at the door as the class finished, and this girl ran out on the phone, "I've got the answer."
Love it. That's
it
great.
has a big effect on people.
Yeah, that's wonderful.
I've also had a lady who from Fort Lauderdale who still is on my online yoga. She's a complete convert to Zen Ki Yoga, and she's lost, it was a massive amount of weight. I can't remember. She said it in pounds, but it was like 30, 40 pounds. And she attributes it a lot to doing the Zen Ki Yoga because it tones and tightens your organs. And so she's, so there's lots and lots of different avenues of whether it fixes structurally or whether it fixes your health-wise or whatever. So
yeah, brilliant. That's wonderful. And did you want to talk a bit about the vagus nerve at all, or is
the
that
vagus nerve? So the vagus nerve it's really easy to. So we want to stimulate the vagus nerve to calm the mind and the body, to get rid of anxiety. Okay, so the vagus nerve has a lot and it is a lot connected to the psoas. But you can also just do, so a simple one for the vagus nerve is just sliding your finger. So the skin between your head and your ear, the back of your ear there, just put your finger on the skin there. You just slide up and hold it up. So you're not like sliding along the surface. You're sort of pulling the skin up off the bone and holding it. And that will stimulate the vagus nerve. And that so instantly calm us. You can also pull it downwards and you can also pull it backwards. And while you do that, you can probably feel more saliva in your mouth.
Yeah, that's amazing.
Yeah. So it calms the body. And when we are not in fight or flight mode, we're in the other mode, which is rest and digest. So that's why you've got more saliva, because you're able to digest your food a little bit better. So yeah.
We all need to be doing more of that, I think.
Yeah. So just really simple things that you can do while you're in a meeting. Just sitting there going like
Yeah.
that and
Yeah.
calm yourself down. So yeah.
So easy, isn't it? Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, I love it. Wonderful. Thank you for sharing all that. That's really exciting. And I know we're here to talk about Yoga Day. So um, it's a huge event that you're putting together. And I know I remember a couple of like yoga expo events that happened, I think, in the early 2000s, but there hasn't really been anything since then. And so last year you started Yoga Day Sydney. And I'm just curious, what prompted you to start this event? Because it's massive.
So that's correct. My first thing that I ever taught at was 2008, I think, was Yoga Fest or something. It was the Wharf 8, which is, I don't think Wharf 8 exists anymore.
Mm.
But and then Yoga Conference in 2009, and there was a few that were, sort of around. There was one in, the last one was 2013, which was the Bondi Yoga Festival. And that one got rained out because a lot of it was in the pavilion, Bondi Pavilion, and a lot of that is out, like the marketplace was outside, and it was like that deep in water. I was one of those fabulous Sydney weekends where we had 200 mils of rain in, one day kind of thing. So it was terrible. So there hadn't been anything for ages. And so I started teaching at a lot of them in the US, LA, Fort Lauderdale, Denver, Houston, Portland, like everywhere. And also in London. And then I don't know, came home from one in LA, and it was great. It was all vibrant. I had, my class was full. I think the maximum in the room was, there was one year, just before COVID, the maximum, it was a huge room, was for 450 people. The next year after COVID, it was like 150, but that was the maximum of the room. The rooms were smaller. And so just the energy that you get from that. And, so I'd been watching how they run, watching different expos are run differently. So I just took little bits from what I thought worked the best from each little event and put together Yoga Day, because I thought, Sydney needs one. So, and I just want to promote as many yoga teachers as possible, as many businesses as possible. I don't have my own yoga studio anymore, so love to promote everyone else's. And also I just it's a perfect thing for people who've never done yoga before as well, because they're not walking into a studio, signing up, committed, and if they feel that they can't do it, they can sort of hide up the back. They're big rooms, we don't encourage people walking in and out of classes, but if you want to leave at a yoga festival, you can leave. It's not sort of like walking out of a studio. So
Yeah.
you can, and also you get to try a variety of things and things that you probably have never tried before or never
Yeah.
thought of trying before.
Yeah.
And so it's a great opportunity for people, even experienced yogis, to try a new thing. So there's something for absolutely everybody.
Yeah, brilliant. Well, it's very exciting. I'm excited that I'm coming to Sydney again this year for Yoga Day. So yeah, thank you for organizing all. It must be like a mammoth task. You're probably just like breathing it, dreaming about it, and yeah, all the time.
Yes, I am. I literally have dreams about people buying tickets, and
Good.
and I wake up and go, I had a dream the other night that someone bought 12 tickets. I was like, oh, where's the email? Oh, I was dream.
It will happen. It's manifesting. It's manifesting.
So yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
But it's coming together. It's all good. This year it's a little more because I've got organized food to be there and all that kind of stuff as well. So we've got some food trucks. It's all veggie stuff. So that's great.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's a good day. But and even if you can't do yoga, if you sort of say I can't do anything, or you're really immobile or something like that, you can sit in the auditorium all day and listen to wellness talks all day, which also includes your face yoga. So and there's a few other talks in other rooms as well, but there's one dedicated space for just wellness talks for the whole day.
Yeah.
Lots of yoga classes. There's sound yoga. There's yin yoga. There's every yoga. Much. So it's a great variety, and
Yeah. And you've also got meditation pretty much happening continuously
Meditation. So
throughout the
we've got
day.
2 dedicated meditation rooms. We've got the Heartfulness Institute and the Brahma Kumaris, who are taking 1 room each. And then there's a few other meditations throughout the day as well.
Yeah, I love that. Yeah, it's covering all bases, which is good. So yeah, even if you're not into yoga but you want to meditate, come
Yep,
along.
absolutely, absolutely. Or if you want sound baths, there's a few of those.
Mm,
There's chanting. There's absolutely everything.
everything. Yeah.
There's talks on menopause, talks on inflammation. So if you're aging, you want to age more gracefully, or get some tips to make that transition a little easier, then that's all there as well. Even if you're young, you know, and if you're a teacher, you'll probably have some older students. So learning some tips and tricks about that, and you know, knowing that stuff for when you get older.
That's
Even
right.
really young now, you know.
Yeah.
So
But
yeah,
yeah, I think it all relates too. Like even when you're young, it's that kind, especially for women, you know, it's good to know what's ahead, and but that'll also help you in the present moment, I think, as well. You know, all that stuff can be applied early on.
yeah,
You know, the sooner you apply the good stuff, the less problems you have down the track, you know.
absolutely. As
And I'm
I
sure
always say, walking sticks don't happen overnight.
that's right. Indeed.
Yeah.
Indeed.
So,
Yes. No,
you know,
exactly. Yeah. No. Okay. Awesome. Thank you. And so, what is your, I don't know, maybe you don't have one, but I'm thinking you might. What's sort of your big dream then for Yoga Day events in the future? Like, are you hoping to maybe open up to more international people coming across, or, you know, like, or you're going to try and take it across to different states? Or I don't know, maybe you're just like, not Sydney, that's it. You know, I'd be curious to know if you have any sort of future plans.
it is Sydney at the moment, just because it's a big thing to get off the ground. But yes, eventually I do want to do, I'd love to do Adelaide, love to do Gold Coast, love to do Melbourne.
Mm,
So would love to do all those spaces. So we'll see how we go.
mm,
And yeah, if we start to get some international brands to exhibit and we start to get some international teachers, that would also be great. So
mm,
we'll see. But I'm at the moment very happy supporting the teachers that we've got, because they're
mm.
great and varied,
Yeah.
and lots of experience, and
Yeah.
you know,
Yeah.
so
Mm.
yeah.
Yeah, it's amazing how many yoga teachers are going to be there. Yeah, I'm kind of a bit disappointed I can't go to all the sessions, so I'll be having an exhibit
I'm
too.
not going to be able to go to any, but I know.
Yeah. You are
And
teaching a couple of sessions, though, aren't you?
I'm teaching the food as medicine. That's a lecture in the lecture hall. That's
Mm,
with Spiral Food. So that's talking about their amazing macrobiotic foods that they started off with when they first
mm,
started, and just the health benefits of those, and how you can easily just add little bits of those things into your diet to strengthen your immune system, to strengthen your digestive system, to, you know, clear your skin, to do all sorts of different things like that. And
mm,
then the psoas release for anxiety, back pain relief.
mm,
Um, but yeah, I had a friend last year that said to me, you know, you could take the entire timetable, repeat it again on another day, and then people would be able to go to both. But
mm.
2 day things don't, I don't know, unless we start with 2 day, it's, I don't know,
Yeah, it's
don't
a
think
lot. It's a
it's
lot.
a lot.
Yeah.
It's a lot to expect the teachers to be there. It's a lot to expect with exhibitors. It's a lot. It's just
Mm,
a lot. So I know that, you know, there's lots of things people would like to go to. I saw someone booked in for 27 sessions yesterday.
good on them.
I'm like, please don't book for the sessions you really want. I mean, and I know that, you know, people want to go to a few sessions, but
Mm,
yes. You're only going to be able to get to 7 or 8, because there's 8 slots. Maybe there's, you know, maybe if you sit in the auditorium, there's probably not 8 or 9 slots,
mm.
um because, you know, there's some of them are shorter. But yeah, so
It's good to have be ambitious, I guess.
good to be ambitious, yes, but
Yeah,
yeah, so that's interesting.
it is.
But
Excellent.
it's good to know that there's so many sessions that people
Mm,
go to. I know,
yeah.
and but that's how yoga expos are, though. You know,
Mm,
there's often things that are on the same time that you want to go to. You want to go to everything.
yeah.
Um, so yeah, you just got to choose your best one.
Yeah. Sometimes it's just flipping a coin.
Yep. Yep.
Excellent.
Absolutely.
Yeah. All right. Thank you so much for sharing about that. We're going to wrap up now, but I have a final question that I'd love to ask you, which is my sort of signature question for this podcast, which is what's one thing that has helped you improve your own well-being and helps you get more out of life?
You know what? I have no idea. So I've always been active. So it's not that I found exercise and then that's helped me. I've always been obsessed about diet. Well, apart from when I finished diving and I ate nothing but McDonald's for about 2 years and and that, and then got into fitness and exercise and learn about proper nutrition and all that. So I think my answer to that is getting older is improving my well-being, because you don't care as much, about what are they thinking and that person and what's gonna, you kind of start to just sink into life and go with the flow. And yeah, so it's probably like an opposite answer of what you'd expect me to say, but I reckon getting older is a good thing. It's good for the mental health, and it's good for the just everything.
Yeah, nice. I like that. I haven't had that answer before. So I love the difference. Yeah, no, it's a good point. And I think, yeah, I can kind of relate. I'm getting to that point too, a bit older. And yeah, you do sort of tend to care a bit less about what everyone else is thinking, and you sink more into what you feel, what feels good for you.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Excellent.
Yeah.
Lovely. Cool. All right. Well, thank you so much, Janie. Appreciate your time today. I'm looking forward to seeing you in how many days is it now?
18. It's on
Yeah.
my little counter every time I open my computer, and I feel a little bit ill every time. It's like, oh my God, have I done everything?
Yes, I'm sure you've got lots of checklists and all the rest. So
Yeah.
yeah, so good luck with the organization up into the day. And yeah, looking forward to seeing you there. Looking forward to seeing everyone else who's coming as well and meeting lots of new people. Yeah, just thank you so much for creating this event and making it accessible to so many people in Sydney. And if people are traveling interstate, even better to come and check it out. So
Yeah.
awesome. All right,
Great.
take care. Thanks, Janie. See you.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome.